Okay. I always went to church, loaded 9mm pistol. I kept saying, I'm gonna take this money and build like that.
Hey, Debbie, if you're talking, we cannot hear you. We see your mouth moving, but we can't hear anything you say.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, ma'am, we can.
I am so sorry about that. The connections was terrible. I'm so happy you guys are here. And I know things are kind of a little different because we're so accustomed to coming here on Tuesday nights. But I guess she works with her team on Tuesday, so that didn't work. So I asked her if we could do it on Monday. So she came early. She was here at 7 o'clock because she is on Eastern time. She was early and she said, "Where is everybody?" I said, "Well, we got one more hour." And I guess I need to send her a message. I don't know if Melissa's here. Melissa, are you here? Okay, let me send her a quick message because everything just kind of got thrown off with the end of the month call. Let me message her right now, let her know we're on. She was here before us. We are okay. I just messaged her to see if she's this has been a crazy, exciting night, guys. I tell you, I am so thrilled that you guys are here. You guys are going to get a dose of some awesomeness tonight. So as you guys come on, make sure you're muting your phones so that we won't have to keep saying, okay, she says she's coming. So we won't have to keep stopping and saying, mute your phone, mute your phones. So there's a microphone at the very bottom. There's a microphone at the bottom. Go ahead and hit that microphone, guys. Mute your call when she comes on. Make sure you test it to make sure that you can mute your phone so that we won't get all the background noise.
I just have to say that when I saw her name, I was so excited. So I'm so excited about what she has to say. I follow her on Facebook and I just love her excitement. So I'm so pumped about it.
Oh yeah, she brings on the excitement everywhere she goes. I mean, yes. She is like, okay, Amanda, you did see her at SFR, did you?
I did. I sure did.
Yeah.
Yes.
She is amazing. I mean, she draw the crowd. I remember.
Yes.
Yeah, she draw the crowd. I'll reserve that part to when she comes on. Let me tell you a little bit about her. When I met Melissa for the first time was in 2012. It was in Las Vegas. It was convention at that time. And I didn't know anybody, guys, at that time. We were told to come in early because of the special project that they wanted us to take part in. So I was amongst Melissa Gratz. She was a celebrity. I remember when we were walking across the stage, everybody was yelling and screaming like she was a real, true celebrity. I'm like, oh my gosh, who am I up here with? So I can see the hype now. She is amazing like that. Melissa is also a shining star. We were both shining star at the same time. We were shining star nominees. I think about that year, we were shining star nominees, and we were both shining star in 2019. It was 6 of us. We were together, and she's the superstar director. She's awesome. She's amazing, and she's got some exciting things to bring to share with us, guys. And I think, Melissa, are you here with us yet?
I'm here.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Great. We're so excited to be here with you.
Oh, you guys, thank you so much for having me. I know I just clicked off of that end of month live also. So a couple funny things, right? I've been having a hard time with time zones lately. I don't know why. I've been doing Scentsy for 16 years. I thought I had this time zone thing knacked, and I was on your guys' call an hour ago because I was just like, oh, 8 o'clock is 8 o'clock, right? And then I messaged DPP and I was like, why am I the only one here? I was like, do I not know how to work Zoom? And she said, no, girl, it's in an hour. Get on end of month live. And I was like, okay, all right, here we go. So I was just on end of month live. You guys, did you watch it? Amazing. I mean, as if I could get any more excited about Scentsy. And then end of month live happens. And then I'm like, I literally almost typed in the comments, Scensy's the new Target. When I walk into Target, they take my money. And now everything they showed on end of month live, I was like, just take my wallet. Just take my wallet. I'm going to have to work twice as hard in the month of November just to afford my own habits. That Wonka bar, I want that packaging. Like, that is amazing. I can't wait to smell those scents. The Small World Warmer, I don't know if any of you are Disney fanatics. I am. I wasn't always a Disney fanatic, and then I had kids, and I went to Disney for the very first time with my children and experienced Disney through their eyes, and all of a sudden I have become like a Disney fanatic. And so the Small World Warmer, that warmer of the month that's coming next month, we have a host exclusive, that whiff box with the exclusive mini penguin, and if you haven't watched it yet and I'm ruining it for you, I'm sorry for I didn't even give a spoiler alert, but spoiler alert, so many amazing things coming. I am so excited. So anyway, I actually think it's great that I'm doing your call after end of month live, because now I'm even more excited than I typically normally just am on a daily basis. I am pumped. So let me take a breath. Hi, it's good to see everybody. Hi, Donna. Great to see you. I was so excited when I popped on and saw your face. DPP, thank you so much for having me. Honestly, what you were saying in the beginning is so true. You and I were nominees together, and then we graciously got to accept the Shining Star Award together. And so that was a pretty special moment for the both of us. We shared both of those experiences. And so you hold a special place in my heart. We did this together and next to each other. So that's awesome. So thank you so much for having me. Hi, you guys. How's everybody doing? Good. Hi, Amanda. And your smile is making me happy. So, and hi, Candy. And is it Santana? Yeah. Hi. Good to see you. And Mitzi, you're throwing me off because you're on my screen twice and I'm seeing you from like two different angles. And so I'm like, oh, there's two Mitzi's on. Mitzi. There's two Mitzi's on. And then I'm like, oh no, it's just we get her twice. So, oh, good to see you. Hi, Michelle. And hi, Candy. I think I said hi, Candy, before. And hi, everybody else who doesn't have their videos on. I love your profile pictures on Zoom. Hey, Shonda. Good to see you. Oh, okay. So I always love surveying the audience and seeing who's on, seeing the familiar faces that I know and saying hello to my friends. So hi, everybody. I'm Melissa Gratz. I'm a superstar director in Michigan. I've been with Scentsy since February of 2008. I joined Scentsy because I was visiting my sister at the time. We left her house smelled amazing. And what sold me was we left her house to go to the grocery store and she didn't blow out her candle. And I was like, don't you have to like blow that out or unplug it or turn it off? And she's like, no, it's Scentsy. You leave it on. And when we came back from the grocery store, her house smelled like perfectly pomegranate. It was amazing. And I was like, that's it. I'm sold. I need this in my house. And so she put me in touch with her consultant, and her consultant said, because at that time we had, so back in 2008, there was a bundle and save deal for 2 warmers, 6 bars of wax for $75. So I called her consultant and I said, I want to buy that perfect Scentsy. And she said, well, for $25 more, you could start your own business. And I was like, okay. I had never done direct sales before. I had never attended a home party. I had never hosted a home party. And I most certainly was not going to be one of those party girls that hosted parties for other people in their homes and sold products. Like, that was just not me. And but I was the easiest sell. She said to me, for $25 more, you can start your own business. And that is what hooked me. I hadn't even owned the product prior. And I was like, $75, $99. I've spent worse money on worse things in my life. And so the starter kit came, and I was really excited to unpack the testers. I had no idea. And I can still take myself back to that moment when I was unpacking my starter kit. And I can put myself in that mindset when I looked at all of that stuff and was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm getting myself into, but what do I have to lose? And in that moment, I was like, well, I'm going to do this for 6 months, because that's what people do in this type of business, right? In this industry, people stay about 6 months and they spend more than they make, and then they get out. And so that was truly my thinking on it. So, which actually kind of made it like no pressure for me, because I was like, I'm not putting any expectation on myself, and we'll just see where this goes. Well, it went faster than I was ready for, because people were loving Scentsy. And so about 6 months passed, and I was like, well, if I leave Scentsy, if I stop doing Scentsy, all these people that I came in contact with and sold Scentsy to, where are they going to get their Scentsy from? I can't leave. I can't let these people down. And it was at that moment that I was like, okay, well, then if I'm staying, I'm giving this 150% effort. I didn't give it 150% effort up till that point. I just kind of wanted to see where it went. And like I said, it kind of swept me up, in the current, and kind of carried me. And so when I changed my mindset and I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a shot. And I upped my manpower to like 150% and was like, if this doesn't work out, I will go out saying, I did the best that I could. Like, I did my best. Well, you know how the story hasn't ended. You know how it goes, because here I am, almost 16 years later. And it is the best decision I ever made in my life that I wouldn't have made if the consultant didn't offer the opportunity to me. When I was reaching out to her to purchase, starting a business, doing Scentsy, that was nowhere in my mind. And so, proof that even though you sell Scentsy to people over and over and over again, if you haven't put that thought in their head to do this business, they may not have ever even thought about it or thought that it was an opportunity for them. So I'm just reminding you of that, because I would not have joined had it not been offered to me. And then it makes me curious, like, where would I have crossed paths with Scentsy again, like down the road? Or if I hadn't purchased, where would I have crossed paths with Scentsy? How different would my Scentsy journey be? And I don't sit in that place for very long, because that's not my story. My story is, I was going to buy, I ended up starting a business, and 16 years later, I'm here, and I truly get to wake up every single morning and do something that I absolutely love. In fact, I had a customer pick up an order from me today, and she said, how do you keep track of all of the things that Scentsy offers? And I said, you're going to call me crazy, but I love Scentsy so much, and I love what I do so much, that it doesn't even take effort for me to remember all of these products or the names of these scents or the bars that I have on hand. I said, it comes so natural to me by now, because I still love what I do. I said, and that right there tells me that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And she was like, that's really, really admirable. And I was like, oh, well, thank you. And she's like, I'm just really happy you found something that seems to be your calling. And I said, I didn't know that it was going to be my calling. I had no idea, but it ended up being. How many of you saw me speak on stage. Gosh, I don't even know. You guys probably will remember better than I do. I don't remember what year it was, but maybe it was 2019 when we got Shining Star. I don't remember, but I was on a panel on stage, and it had to have been. Yes, it had to have been 2019, because I had a full-time job, the same full-time job, my whole Scentsy career until 2019. And I was the office manager for a title insurance company. I had been there since 2002, and they let me go in 2019 because they merged with a larger company. And it was funny because I shared this story on stage that my parents always asked me, and they still do sometimes. You'd think by now they would get a hint, but they still do sometimes. But they had always asked me, Melissa, do you think Scentsy's run its course? Melissa, do you think, Scentsy's seen its heyday and, it's going to kind of start to fizzle out? And they never, ever, ever asked me that question about my 40-hour-a-week office manager job. Never. Because, that was the job that gave me my benefits and my 401k plan, and it was 40 hours a week, and it was a company that, I went out and worked for. Like, they never asked me. And it was that company that let me go. And here I am still with Scentsy, the career choice that they always asked me if I thought it had longevity. And I'm doing Scentsy, and I'm no longer employed by that other company. And I'm like, it's just funny to me that those around us that don't believe what we do is for real, or don't believe what we do is serious enough, or don't believe what we do could actually make us money. And I love being an ambassador to show people differently. I mean, I've truly proved everybody in my life wrong. I mean, my college friends have said to me, Melissa, of all people that we graduated with, I can't believe you're the one that does this type of business. And I'm like, why? By now, I've proven to all of you guys, like this, there is real potential. There is real potential. There is real opportunity. And I have grown more because of my Scentsy business than I have grown out of any other opportunity or experience that I've had in my life. I've talked about this with my team. I talk about this with my team a lot. And we always do these little blips or blasts at the beginning of our team calls. And we ask, what is something that you learned this week because of your Scentsy business? What is something you learned? It could be something that you've learned in your Scentsy business. It could be something that you've learned because of your Scentsy business. It could be something that you learned that you didn't even use in your Scentsy business, but it helped you just in life in general. And you guys can drop your answers in the chat too, if you want to, because I always love the answers to these questions, because I would have no idea pre-COVID how to have used Zoom. I would have had no idea how to use Canva or design a flyer or a logo or make a QR code. I certainly would not have known as much as I know about Microsoft Excel if it wasn't for always running reports in my Scentsy business. But it's just always fascinating to me because I'm like, Scentsy, this business has taught me so many life skills outside of just sharing wax and warmers with other people that I'm like, I'm so grateful for the well-rounded person that this business has allowed me to become. Okay, wait, I want to check and see. Debbie told me I could talk about whatever I wanted to, and that is always just a dangerous thing because you never know. Even leading up to this call, I didn't know where we were going to go, and this is where we ended up going tonight. So it always kind of makes me giggle because I'm like, what do you want me to talk about? And Debbie says, you can talk about anything. And I'm like, well, that's dangerous, Debbie, because let's see. Okay. All right. So I don't know that anybody has dropped anything that you've learned, but just think about that. And it's a fun thing to think about, the skills that you've acquired because of your Scentsy business. And if you are newer to Scentsy, you probably don't have maybe you don't have as many of those. And maybe I feel that I've gained so many skills because when I started back in 2008, we didn't have Facebook. I barely had a cell phone. And, email was just becoming popular. And so maybe I feel like I've gained a lot of skills because of my business, just because technology has evolved. I don't know, maybe, but, so one thing that I want to talk to you about is I'm very big on branding myself and customer service. Those are two things that I think are my strong points. And actually recently, and you guys can drop questions in the chat. Oh, Donna, I love that you just wrote something. Okay, I'll have to get to that in a second. But you guys can drop questions in the chat too. And I would absolutely love fielding your questions and I can talk about anything. But I have been challenging myself recently. So as you can see, I've got my Scentsy sweatshirt on. I've been challenging myself to not leave the house without, hold on, I tilted my camera and it messed up. To not leave the house without something Scentsy on me, something branding me. And that's been actually a challenge for me because though I pride myself on customer service and branding, I wasn't doing a very good job making sure that I had something on me that said Scentsy at all times. And so I actually have taken my stack of Scentsy shirts and I've put them right at the entrance of my closet so that when I go to get dressed in the morning, I am pulling something off of the pile in my Scentsy stack of clothes. And I have gained 6 now new customers in 2 weeks from wearing a Scentsy hoodie. And each of those 6 new customers have converted to a sale. They were seeking out a consultant. Their consultant didn't sell anymore, and they didn't know where to buy Scentsy. And so 6 out of 6 new customers converted to a sale for me. Now, mind you, I'm very big on, I want to build a relationship with a person as fast as I possibly can to solidify that when they think Scentsy, they will think of me. So I haven't even capitalized on those brand new customers yet for the host or the join opportunity, because for me, I want to make them my friend first, and I want them to feel comfortable with me so I can then present other things to them. So, because when I tell the stories about, oh, I just got these new customers, somebody will always follow up with, well, are they hosting for you? Are they joining your team yet? And I'm like, whoa, wait. I want them to be my friend first. And I want them to feel that I'm not like your stigma direct salesperson that's just pressury and just wants your sale or wants your business. I want to solidify that we are friends first. And so just from wearing my sweatshirt out at the grocery store, I'm going to start hanging out there like every single day, because the amount of people that come in and out of the grocery store, and I've gotten 4 of my 6 customers from the grocery store. So I'm like, I'm going to hang out in the grocery store with my Scentsy clothes on. But my daughter's in gymnastics, and so I wear a Scentsy shirt to gymnastics every single week. She's there twice a week. And I picked up a new customer from gymnastics who sent me a text message and was like, no, she didn't send me a text message. I was walking out of gymnastics and she said to me, you sell Scentsy? I'm like, yes, I do. And she was like, I've been looking for a consultant. And I instantly ask for their phone number. I want their phone number in my phone. Most everybody asks me for a business card. I don't carry business cards on me for the reason that I am not going to give somebody my business card and allow them to walk away from me. I don't carry the business cards for a reason, because I pull out my phone and I say, give me your cell phone number. Let me text you my contact information. And that way I am able to send them a link to the catalog, my introduction. I have a little introduction graphic. It's a picture of me. And it says, I am so excited. I'd have to read it to you, but I'm so excited to have met you. Let's keep in touch. And I send them the link to the catalog. And I put them in my phone instantly. And if all of you, or many of you, maybe some of you, have been around long enough to have heard my spiel about how I do my customer service and how I put my contacts into my cell phone, still do it this way to this day. I do not care about people's last names until they're giving me a credit card. So when I meet somebody and I put their name in my phone, so for instance, Miss Michelle that I just met at Kroger, her name in my phone is CUS, short for customer. This is all in the first name field. CUS Michelle works at Kroger. That's her name in my phone, because I instantly have that frame of reference on exactly who she is. Because if I put her in just on meeting her by first and last name, it would be very easy for me to forget which Michelle she was. And so my contact list is a hot mess. People would get the biggest kick out of looking through my contact list because it'll say Allison Walmart parking lot. And that means that's where she always picks up her orders from me. Or, Sandy Bank of America, because she's a teller at the bank. Like, I don't care about people's last names until I really get to know them. And then I'll swap it out and Bank of America will come out and I'll put her real last name once I've, gotten to know her well enough. Something else that I always do, and I've gotten into the habit of doing this, and it is so extremely helpful, you guys. When I have a customer that picks up an order from me, I take a picture of their order. So let's say it's a warmer and 6 bars. I take a picture of that warmer with the 6 bars laid out and I text it back to the customer. And 9 times out of 10, I'm doing it while I'm standing right in front of them. And I will say to them, you're going to get a text from me. You can disregard it. It's more for our reference in the future, because I know somewhere down the line, you'll say to me, Melissa, I bought that red bar of wax from you and I can't remember what the scent was. And I can go back to our chat history and look at all of our dealings with each other. And that has been the simplest way and the easiest way for me to keep track of things on the fly, because as much as I'd like to say that I'm organized, I'm also just a very simple and resourceful person. And so I have in my text threads with my customers what they have purchased from me. And I will even do that. If it's an online order, I don't do that because I can refer to the workstation and pull up their prior orders. But if it's a case of a customer, like my customer Bonnie, who texted me today and was like, Melissa, I need 6 bars of wax, all fall. I don't care what they are. Surprise me. And so she came and picked them up for me today. And before she left, I did these 2 things. I took a picture of the 6 bars that she wanted, sent the text back to her, and I sent her her total back to her and marked it paid. So it just said $31.80 paid, so that I have the record that she paid, she has the total, and she can scroll back. We can see the date that she bought them, and she has the 6 bars that she picked up from me today, and I have record of it right in our chat thread. Simple, maybe over simple. Maybe it was an aha moment for you. It was an aha moment for me when I came up with it, and I was like, this is genius, because now all of my dealings with my customers are housed right in my text thread with them. It's really genius. So that's a little fun tip that I wanted to share with you. Something else I want to share with you that I just started doing that I'm really, really excited about. And this is so simple, but I'm really excited about it. And I actually had one going out to a customer today, and I opened her envelope so that I could show you guys. Heather Gorsuch, how many of you know her? She's amazing. I learned so much from her. Heather Gorsuch just showed me this aha folding trick with a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper. And you guys get to see this first. I have not even rolled this out to my team yet. They haven't even seen this. So you guys are my first ones that I'm showing this to. So don't tell my team yet. So Heather showed me this folding trick with a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper. Okay. So you've got this 12 by 12. And it's 12 by 12, except I just folded it. You have a 12 by 12. Let's just say this was my holiday brochure. That's the tallest brochure that we have, is the holiday and the harvest brochure. The scent and warmer of the month flyer is just below the holiday and harvest brochure, it's just a little shorter. And then both of those are taller than the catalog. So I use the tallest brochure, which is the harvest or holiday brochure. and I line it up in the bottom corner of the 12 by 12 and then fold a flap up so that this, if this was my flyer, I fold it up so that this is just right at the top. I tape the sides closed, and now I have this folder, and now I'm going to show you. It's going to all come together and make sense. I have this folder. So this is a brand new customer that I met because of my sweatshirt. So I have this folder. See, I taped the sides. When you open it, because she asked me for a catalog, and she said, I don't want to shop online. I want a physical catalog. And I said, no problem. So when you open it up, I have glue dotted my business card right on the inside. I have the scratch and sniff sheet in here. There's the catalog. Something I did for my customers this year, again, this was another genius idea from Heather Gorsuch, is I had bought I don't know if a lot of you saw these. Target had them in their dollar spot a year ago. And when the season was over, when the holiday season was over, they went on 50% clearance. And I was like, okay, this is genius. So I bought these letter openers. And so I have gift wrapping tips. And on the back of this card is let's keep in touch. It's my VIP page and my website. I always like to just give, I don't like to spend a lot of money to make money, but I always like to give just a little added something that is just like, I don't know, one step over and above. Just instead of just sending a catalog, I want to make a presentation. I want to impress this new customer, right? So this is just something that all of my customers and new customers are getting this holiday season. So it's included in here. But I have the warmer of the month flyer, the holiday brochure, the harvest brochure, and the join brochure. Those are in this fun little folder. All, like, tell me you wouldn't love to receive this and it would feel so, it makes me so happy. Now, mind you, I'm really crafty at heart. And so the fact that I get to be, and doesn't even take, anybody can do this. It's folding paper, but it makes my crafty heart happy to have something leave my hands that looks like this. Okay. So I have a bunch of these that I've folded. They're just 12 by 12 scrapbook paper. And I went and I got, I was at Hobby Lobby picking up something and I bought a pad of 12 by 12 paper that was Christmas or holiday or winter so that I could make them for the season. These were just some of the ones that I had made up that are everyday. But it's so easy. You don't have to buy expensive folders to make these. It's literally a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper that is folded. You can put whatever sticker or label that you want on here. This is like my most favorite thing for the season. And my very first one that I'm doing is going out to this brand new customer today. And disregard this, that I use this sticker. It's an old sticker that I have in marketing, and I'm just trying to cycle through some old stuff. So I kind of cover it up because I'm not advertising that I'm putting that on there, but I'm just trying to cycle through some old marketing. But this is what's going to this brand new customer that I just acquired from wearing my sweatshirt. Is that a fun little hack? Easy, inexpensive, super inexpensive. And you can make that look really presentable. And these could be your join packets. These could be your opportunity packets. These could be your party packets. If you're doing a home party, you could put one of these together for each customer that's going to be at the party. I mean, the opportunities with this are endless, but boy, it sure makes a statement as opposed to just handing somebody a catalog. So that's my fun little thing that I wanted to share with you. Okay. I have to catch up. Debbie, are there any questions coming in the chat? Maybe I should, because I don't want to spend all of my time scrolling and reading while you guys are sitting here. But is there anything, maybe if you want to look through the chat and pluck out if there's anything.
Okay, looks like they're just complimenting you, like they're just in awe, like I am.
I keep forgetting to get their info when I give them a catalog or business card. Oh my gosh, don't ever let anybody walk away from you without their information. Don't, because you know what they'll do? Even if, hi, Nancy Anderson, I love your face. Even if your label, I'm telling you this from experience, even if your label is on the front of that catalog, you know what people do? They go to Scentsy.com and they will put in their zip code and they will pull up the first person that comes up, even if your label is on that catalog, because people, they just sometimes don't think. And so I am like a stickler for it now, where I'm like, I am not giving anything to anybody without something in return. And that something in return 9 times out of 10 is their contact information, because I want to be able to follow up with you, keep you in the loop. I mean, that is how I'm building my customer base. That is how I'm staying in front of people. So Dennis, for sure, make that your number one priority. Don't give anything away without getting something in return. Yep, I always assumed they would call me. I did that for a really long time too. Really long time. And then I wasn't silly for assuming.
They were asking, do you mail or do you deliver those?
So I deliver if they are local to me. If they are not, so this particular customer is not, yes, she was at my grocery store and I just met her, but she happened to be in town visiting her grandchildren. So she lives too far for me to send it, or for me to deliver. So this one I am mailing, but because it's heavier, it's not something I want to get into the habit of mailing. And realistically, now that I'm doing this, I am going to have these made up and ready. So when I meet people, I have these to give. So this was just an opportunity. This just happened to be that I met this customer. I didn't have these made up yet. And so she asked me for a physical catalog. And because, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I'm going to get her phone number. So I'm going to text her a link to the catalog and we'll be all good. And she was like, no, I am a physical catalog. And I was like, I can respect that. I still like to leaf through physical catalogs as well. So, so for this one, I'm sending to her.
Melissa, do you party? Do you work events, or you do both, or?
Both. So I love events because it gets me out in front of new people. I love parties because give me a room full of people that I haven't met yet. And that's not because I'm not nervous about it. It's just, I see it as opportunity because I am trying to grow my customer base always, because my customer base is my potential team member base and they are my future host base. And so I want to be, and keep in mind too, for every new customer that you acquire, because they say on average, the average person has a circle of influence of 250 people. That's 250 Facebook friends, 250 people that they know, like, and trust that person. So for every new customer I acquire, if I can solidify a relationship with that customer, that allows me access politely to her or his circle of influence of 250 people, hopefully because they will refer me. If somebody in their 250 is looking for a Scentsy consultant and they can say to them, you got to go with my girl. That's my goal. I want them to say, oh, you got to go with my girl. So I love parties. I won't turn down any form of business. I will do a fundraiser. I will do a basket party. I will go to an office and set up a table on a lunch break. I will go to the local dog groomer and put a warmer in there because that's what I do. You get a lot of business at dog groomers, just letting you doggy daycares. I built a business by having a warmer in a doggy daycare. I'll just tell you. But I won't turn down any opportunity to meet new people. Melissa, I use your method now. My customers are blown away that I remember so much. My customers say to me, I don't know how you remember all of this. And I say the exact same thing I said to that customer today. I said, I love what I do so much. It is my job to remember what you love. It is my job to remember what you love about Scentsy. It's my job. And I love what I do so much. And so one of the reasons I love putting on my phone, like when I meet somebody and they come up to me and say, Melissa, my absolute favorite scent is Christmas Cottage. That customer goes in my phone as Debbie Christmas Cottage. And if Debbie calls me, the first thing I say is, Debbie, are you calling me because you're out of Christmas Cottage? And instantly, number one, she feels like we're friends. Two, she's surprised that I remember her favorite scent. Well, I didn't remember it. It came up on my phone when she called me. It said Debbie Christmas Cottage. And because I know my system, that means Christmas Cottage is Debbie's favorite scent. Because I don't have time when a customer calls me to go into my notes section or the notes section of the contacts tab in my phone to look up. If Debbie's calling me, I don't have time to look up Debbie's favorite at that moment before I can answer the phone and say hello. But if it comes up on my phone when she calls me and it says Debbie Christmas Cottage, I just got the Cliff Notes version to what Debbie loves. I set myself up for success. I have absolutely won customers over by doing that because they're like, Melissa, I don't know how you remember this. And I just say, I love what I do and it's my job to remember. That's my token line. I love what I do and it's my job to remember. Tips and tricks of the business. Okay, that's genius. I'm big with using our order sheets when I place orders for customers. When they pay me, I put paid and how they paid me. That's great. Whatever your system is, just have a system. It doesn't matter. You have to do what works for you. What works for me might not work for you. Any system is a good system so long as you use it. I just tell you, I am a very simple person. I cannot get into in-depth systems and routines because you know what I'll do? I will spend all the time setting them up and I will not go back to using them. Just like the time I thought I was going to file customer order forms in a filing system, I made all the file folders. I made it by year and I thought I was being so fancy. And then what happened? All the orders just stacked up in a bin on my desk. And then it was too overwhelming to file. So I never used that filing system because it was entirely too overwhelming. So for me, I still needed a system, but I was like, nope. I have to do a system that works for me because I know how I am. If it starts to stack up, that just became the system. The bin just became the system because I'm not taking time to file. Okay, that'll be on. Oh, yeah. Well, Hobby Lobby has pads of 12 by 12 paper on sale this week for 40% off. Just letting you know, because I bought the Christmas one today. I order Christmas ornaments for orders that I give in November, December. Amazon has letter openers, 12 for $5.29. There you go. Easy. Okay. What scent was the hardest for you to sell and how did you positively position it? That is so funny. John, where are you? John, I love that question. I probably could have guessed that either came from you or Dennis. I just had a hunch. For me, the hardest scent to sell is weathered leather because in the Midwest, and I'm in Michigan, I always joke with my friends in Texas because like Jamie Pilcher can't keep weathered leather in stock and she's in Texas. And we always joke, I've had the same bar of weathered leather in my stock for probably going on 5 seasons. It's just not something that sells here. So would I say that's maybe the hardest scent for me to sell? Maybe because it's the one that sits around the longest for me, but there's always a buyer for every fragrance. And so the right person just hasn't come to me looking for that scent that smells like cowboy leather boots or a leather shop. Like, I wouldn't say that there's any particular scent that's the hardest for me to sell because if I've learned one thing, anything in this business, it's that everybody likes something different. And just because I like it doesn't mean somebody else will. And just because I hate it doesn't mean somebody else will hate it too. I sell a lot of scents that I would never warm in my house ever, even on a bad day, or even if it was the last bar of wax I had. There are scents I would not ever warm in my house. And I have customers that love them and I will happily sell them to them with a smile on my face. That's why we have 80 fragrances, typically around 100 fragrances offered at any time, is because everybody likes something different. Thing about QR codes that I've learned lately is that people still don't know what to do with them. So if a QR code truly is your only way of providing contact information to people, still put your name and phone number or name and email or name and web address on stuff. Because I have found even through COVID, where everybody had to order from a menu using a QR code, people do not know how to scan QR codes. They still think that they need to have high-tech equipment or an app, or that they can't just open up the camera on their phone and snap the QR code. So just a little word to the wise, that's just been my experience, that I'm still teetering to going fully QR code, because people still don't know exactly. Or for instance, I was doing my, here, I'll show you. I was doing my, oh, I don't have it in this one. I don't have it in this one. I was putting just a QR code on the bottom of the product sheets. You guys know those tear off product sheets? And I was putting just a QR code on the bottom. Well, if you notice on those tear off sheets, there's 2 barcodes at the bottom, which is the item number of the product sheets. And I was putting just a QR code to save myself time. And I realized that even me, if I saw that QR code on the bottom of the product sheet next to a barcode, I would think that that was some kind of form number or some kind of way to reorder the product sheet, not that it would actually take me to my website or So I don't know why I went up on that tangent. I saw something about QR codes I have my website QR code on my home screen. Oh, so that they can scan it. So I just went up on a tangent, completely unrelated. But that's just been something that I've experienced lately, is people still don't know how to scan QR codes. But if you're standing in front of them because it's on your home screen, you can tell them, hey, just open up the camera on your phone and scan this. So, do you reward referrals? Absolutely. So I just had she's a past team member of mine. She's also a hairdresser, works out of her home. And she sent me a customer just yesterday that the woman was sitting in her chair. She was doing her hair. She still has her Scentsy warmer on her table. She's not doing Scentsy anymore. She doesn't have an interest to do Scentsy anymore, but she buys all of her Scentsy from me. And she referred that customer to me. And so I texted her today, thanking her for the referral, and I am sending her a bar of wax as a thank you, just because number one, she was a past team member of mine. And number two, I'm really, really grateful, because referrals are the greatest compliment you can receive in business. And so but you don't have to send a bar of wax. You don't have to give away anything. A simple handwritten thank you note goes a really, really long way. And sometimes I do that too. I'll do a handwritten thank you note and a scent circle. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Just the acknowledgement of saying thank you is the most important part. So just remember that. Yeah, Donna, I've been gifting a bar for new referrals. This is so inspiring for me, especially when I'm with me just starting. Oh, I'm excited for you. That's awesome. I'm really excited for you. How did you adjust to working Scentsy while working full-time on your previous job? You know what's funny? They always say the busier you are, the more you get done. Or busy people are the ones that make things happen. And that's so completely true. And I remember that even from being in high school during my basketball season, where I was basketball nonstop. I always did better in school during basketball season. And I never understood why, when I was in the off season, I didn't do as well in school. And it's just because when you have to time block yourself and you don't have time to not get your stuff done, you actually do more. And so probably the biggest adjustment for me was going from working full time. When I was working full time, I knew that I only had about 2 hours a night to work on Scentsy. So those 2 hours needed to be efficient, effective. I needed to get stuff done in that 2 hours. Going to Scentsy full time, I ended up having more time on my hands. And what do you do when you have more time on your hands? You procrastinate and you take your time getting things done, or you say, yeah, I'm going to run to Hobby Lobby at 1 o'clock in the afternoon because I can. And so it takes being a little bit more disciplined when you're doing it full time. My advice to you when you're working full time, How do you fit Scentsy in? Is you dedicate a certain amount of time each night or each week. And that is your dedicated, what are the most important things I need to get done for my business? And I will tell you, always lead with what is going to be income generating for you. Because if you sit and you use your time to make samples, but you never actually pass those samples out to anybody, you can say you're working your business because you made samples, but your samples aren't working for you. So always be conscious of what you're spending your time on, because you can sit and say you're working your business by scrolling Facebook and reading Scentsy pages, but if that's not converting to a sale, or that's not converting to income for you, or it's not converting to an opportunity for you, then that's not a good use of your time. If you're using your time, your some of your dedicated time to network with people online and to actually comment on things and respond to people and join some groups with people of similar interests, that it can be income generating. So it's all about how you're utilizing your time and the time that you do have. Because somebody that has 4 hours a week to work Scentsy can be just as effective as somebody that has 4 full days a week to work Scentsy, all dependent on the activities that are being achieved. Does that make sense? Oh, Nancy, you're so sweet to me. All right. I just successfully talked your ears off a mile a minute. And I could just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it because I just love what I do. And it's my job to ramble. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Debbie, how'd I do?
You did amazing. I gotta tell you guys, I didn't tell you this, but I've been following, and I probably stalk her a lot because I mean, I love the things that she shared about her family, the kids. I mean, that is what attract people. And this is what I've said many times. I mean, the things that she does authentically and talk about the themes and all the decorating and all the stuff that she loves to do. She shared those things, guys. It's in her stories. Follow her stories because I stalk her stories. Things that she loved the most, you'll know about it. I mean, she loved her family, her kids. That's her life. And she loves Scentsy and everything she said. That's what draw people to her. Become that human magnet. She is a human magnet, guys. When I tell you, when you go to SFR and you meet her, you're not gonna be able to get close to her because she's gonna have all these people around.
Stop it, Debbie. You stop it. No, but you know what? I will speak to the social media point for just 1 second. So I really walk this fine line with social media of because I'm typically a pretty private person. And so I walk this fine line. I kind of have this social media power struggle with myself where I'm like, how do I share to let people in and get to know me without sharing too much that makes me personally uncomfortable? And it's hard in this business because when you want people to connect to you and you want people to relate to you, you have to share. But then sometimes I become my own biggest critic and I'm like, I don't know, like I kind of shy away from sharing and I actually haven't been as good sharing as I would like to be. And I get in my own way with it. I completely get in my own way with it where I'm just like, I get intimidated by social media. I feel like I don't do it right. I feel like, and then I'm like, who is social media for? Is it for me or is it for my audience? Well, I guess it depends what your goals are. And as a business owner, how do you use social media? So I'm going to tell you, social media is probably one of my biggest pain points, believe it or not, because I know that I need to be out in front of the public. And at the same time, how do I still protect that I don't want to put everything on social media, you know? And so if that's any of you, I'm telling you, I can relate to it because that is probably one of my hardest things is I'm always like, I should be sharing more. I should be sharing more. I should be sharing more. And then I get in my own way and I'm like, but I like not sharing every detail of every day. And so I don't know. That's probably one of the things I struggle with the most. Like I can talk to people. I don't get nervous speaking in front of crowds. I used to, but because of Scentsy, I don't anymore. But that's one of the places where I really have a hard time, because I'm just like, I don't know yet that I have found my social media groove. And so I just chalk it up to, I haven't learned everything. I still have room to grow. I still have things that can challenge me. And for that reason, that means I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, because I'm challenged every single day.
Well, we love that you're so down to earth. You know, you're very approachable, and that makes a difference.
Thank you.
To be approachable, it means so much when somebody can come up to you and you hug them and act like you know them already.
I don't know a stranger. I do not know a stranger. I just don't. Everybody is my friend until they show me otherwise, that they're not. So always, you guys, when you see me, come up and say hello. Come up and say hello. Thank you.
So can I ask you this question? What incentive trip are you aiming for?
I'm aiming for, my answer should be, I'm aiming for Bora Bora. If I fall short, I'll be in Hawaii. And if I really fall short, I'll at least be rolling around some new luggage. There's my answer.
I love it. Aim for the top.
Aim for the top. Thank you, you guys. Happy Halloween.
Well, thank you. You've been so amazing. Thank you for joining us tonight. This has been a kind of a challenging night. We know bouncing from end of month. That was different. That was on a different night, and this is on a different night for us. So we made it all work, though.
Thank you for getting on a special night. I appreciate that. I had said to Debbie, my team calls are at the same time as yours on Tuesday nights, and so thank you for rearranging your schedules to be on with us on Monday night. And I didn't have an opportunity to say hello, Sharita Jones. I love your face, and great to see all of you. Thank you, you guys. Go out there and make stuff happen. Here's to an amazing November.
We love you, Melissa, and thank you for making the sacrifice. And if you ever need me, you know I'm here. Call on me.
Thank you, DPP. All right, you guys. Have a great night.
Good night, guys. Love you guys.